Hello, and this week we're going to be talking a little bit about decision making because as I said from the two previous weeks that I'm going on holiday and I've had to plan the holiday and all that sort of stuff, and all I've literally got left to do now is buy my euros and then I'm good to go. I'll unpack, but yeah, I'll normally leave that to the last minute anyway, but hey ho. So this week I'm going to read you a little bit of information from one of the headway fact sheets. This is entitled Difficulties with Decision Making After a Brain Injury. The information has come from Dr. Andrew Batterman, clinical manager, and Oliver Zangwill, at the Oliver Zangwill Centre for Neurology Rehabilitation, Ealing, UK, and Professor Jonathan Evans, no relation, of the Applied Neurology University of Glasgow, UK. Right, the introduction reads, having difficulty with trying to use the computer for a start, that's always a good one. Right, having difficulty making decisions is a common problem after acute brain injuries. It is one element of a broader set of mental skills and has been called executive functions. If you remember last week, we did actually talk a little bit about executive functions and some of the executive functions and things like that. So sort of it does actually go back from that. It's a carry on from last week. Anyway, carrying on. These are the skills needed to enable us to deal with problems that arise in everyday life and cope with the new situations. Everyday life is full of situations which we have to make decisions. Minor, which toothpaste shall I buy, or will I have dinner tonight? Some major, I will stay in this relationship. Will I change my job? Decision making involves many different cognitive functions working together, long-term memory, and how I dealt with similar situations in the past, what choices I have made previously, working memory, holding information in mind during things, through thinking things through, and emotion. How important is decision to me? How will this possibly outcome make me feel? And these are all involved in making those decisions. Because decision making involves a lot of different processes, it means that if one of these processes is affected by a brain injury, then decision making can be impaired. People are affected in different ways. Some find it hard to make a decision about finding that even though like simple decisions such as what toothpaste will I buy become almost impossible. Some people become impulsive, making hasty decisions, apparently acting without thinking things through. Poor judgment in relationships, with money, or in business can have devastating consequences for the individual and their family. All of this with or without brain injury have difficulty making decisions from time to time, but brain injury can make this make it more fragile. decision making and following through with plans of action. If you remember last week, sometimes not, when I've got a lot on my mind and when I'm tired, I was telling you about the, sometimes getting from A to C and forgetting out the B sometimes. So this is kind of quite relevant to what I was saying last week. For example, for some people, a decision about a plan of action might be made, but it is difficult for the individual to follow through with the plan. It is also as is the person intention for the goal, because negative, this can sometimes be because the person becomes distracted by other tasks or activities. The person forgets to do things, not because that what they have done has been completely forgotten, but rather it is difficult to keep the thing to be done in mind, i.e. take medication or go to appointments, give someone a message, carry out daily tasks, which a favourite TV program. This type of remembering is often called positive perspective. Sorry, not positive. Perspective membrane, and I've lost my page. See, I wasn't concentrating. This goes to prove the point. Hang on. Right, yeah, sorry. We were saying perspective remembering. It requires alternatives to the plan for the day. Psychologists use the concept of a mental blackboard to describe how to keep things we intend to do in mind, written on mental blackboards. However, the difficulty can be that for the person after a brain injury, things are easily rubbed off the mental blackboard and temporarily forgot. Although the person may not remember to remind themselves. So it's all to self-awareness and things. Sometimes, especially when I'm tired, I do sort of notice that I will write myself a list to do things, and then I'll sort of think, well, I don't really need to do that, or I can do that tomorrow, and then sometimes it gets put off till tomorrow. So sometimes when sort of doing your lists and that, and how trivial things may seem when you put them on the list, you've obviously felt that they needed to go on the list, so really push yourself to do it. Sometimes, like, almost like a sticking carrot situation, like, well, if I do this, I can sit down and then I can watch my TV program that I want to watch, knowing that I've done all my jobs, or knowing that I've done that task. And so it's kind of as a goal at the end of it, and then which also is good good for reminding you to do something, because then if you sort of plan your day, not just do the list of, what I do find sometimes, if you sort of have the list of jobs to do, but then you also plan it around the activities that you want to do in the day as well. So if you sort of think, well, if I do the washing up, and then by the time I'm done the washing up, my favourite TV programme is going to be on, so I can sit down and watch that, have a cup of tea, and then after that programme's finished, I've got to go and put the dinner on. And so it's sort of like combining the list of to do things, and then it helps you sort of remember it and remember what you need to do. So have a sort of list of what you need to do, and then a list of activities what you want to do with those jobs, so it kind of does fit in. And sorry, this is a bit sketchy on this one, but I will I should do another blog for this one over the weekend, because it's just a thought actually I've just come up with while reading through that. It's sort of, how can we sort of benefit from this? So if I have a bit more of a think about this one properly, and then I can describe it to you in a way that it's not going to be so full of breaks and things. So literally, so I think that's about it for the moment, but like I said, I will be doing another vlog over the weekend, and I will be telling you how the holiday plans and that are going. So yeah, speak to you soon.